And it is a decision of whether or not I would take my child with me moving to Canada in 2024. And the answer is drum roll. I relocated from Jamaica to Canada as a single mom in 2011. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you some things that I would have done differently compared to 2011 and now 2024 if I was moving to Canada in 2024 as a single mom. So I did some things. Some of the things I will leave as the same as I did in 2011 versus some things I would tweak a little bit. I will make some changes a little bit. So I'm sure you don't want to miss out on if I would really take my child with me relocating or if I would leave her back behind. So I will reveal that to you later on in this video. So stick around for that answer because I know you might have seen my previous video where I, sort of asked you some questions to help you to decide whether or not you should take your child or your children with you when you're relocating. So I'll answer that question at the end. Now, the first thing that I would do or the first thing that I did that I would do again if I'm moving to Canada in 2024 as a single mom with my child, with or without my child, is to share the information with friends and families and other colleagues. Now, when I made the decision that I was relocating to Canada, I was informed of the Canadian Skilled Workers Program. I started to spread the word. Now, unlike other people's opinions, some will rather say that I'm keeping my business to myself. But for me, I did the opposite. I shared with all my friends, all my colleagues. And at that time, I didn't really know that I was sharing to build a community, build a support system of other people joining me here in Canada, but I was just sharing the good news, sharing opportunity for others. So this is a time where, for me, it wasn't being selfish. It's sharing which worked out being beneficial at the end. I shared so that I would have done the same, sharing, telling people, encouraging them to come along the journey for a better opportunity. Now, when you do this, you're creating a network. So, for example, my friends, I was working as a nurse, still working as a nurse, but moved here as an internationally educated nurse to Canada. And I told all my nursing friends, close friend, colleagues who were working on the unit. And a lot of them took that opportunity and they also applied to move here to Canada. Now, even now, we still have that tight-knit community, family of around maybe six, seven of us nurses who we moved. I settled in one city and they were able to come to settle in the same city. And that has been our community for our kids. So we formulated a community. So that is one advice I would encourage you to do. Share the information, encourage others to come along the journey, which will also be of benefit to you when you move here. Number two, I would then do my research, more in-depth research to find friends and families where they are located and move to that area. So for me, when I was moving here, I had a coworker. She was the one who invited me on this journey that she was doing this application for the Canadian Skilled Workers Program, which I joined in. Now, for me, luckily, she was ahead of me. So when she came here, I was able to live with her for a few months until I was able to journey out on my own. Now, again, if I was coming to Canada in 2024 as a single mom or as a mom, I would research. So say I didn't know anybody here, I would do more in-depth research, find out where other friends are. If you have families that you haven't spoken to in a long time, you try to find them, get knowledge, get education, familiarize yourself with the neighborhoods that they are staying, and see if it is a good idea or if they can accommodate you or find somebody else, other networks, other collaborations that they might be able to recommend or refer you to other families that may be joining here in Canada. Number three, I would research family-friendly neighborhoods that are affordable, more affordable for single moms, right? A lot of times, because we're not familiar, especially with relocating to Canada, we just go where most of the immigrants are going, most of where other people are going. But sometimes it's a good idea to research other areas that are less populated and more opportunities. For example, the GTA in Greater Toronto area, Toronto, it has a very diverse community of immigrants there. So you find a lot of people move there. Now, you might have your families and your friends living there in those areas, which you might go land there and join with them. But it's a good idea for you to research on your own. You can land there, yes, but you can also consider relocating to other areas where you can establish yourself, especially in home ownership. You can be able to purchase your home, expand more, places that are more affordable. For example, again, I'll share my experience when I came and I was living with my friend. We were in Mississauga, the Greater Toronto area. Then I learned of Hamilton, Ontario, which was far more affordable within my budget of affordability, housing, renting at the time, finding accommodation at the time. Then I was able to purchase my first house at the time as a single mom, which I did under 5 years of landing here, moving here in Canada. Which I know now, 2024, the economic, it's different, it's costly, everything is different because it's worldwide, right? So we can't get away from all the high expenses. Everything is so expensive. Cost of living is expensive. So what I would have done differently moving here 2024 is to research more affordable cities, provinces to land in. Next, I would join Facebook groups. I will try to connect with other moms who are already here. I will try to connect with moms who are on the journey of moving here, migrating to Canada, and to build again, put yourself in that community network, collaborating with other people and building a network. So when I came, as I said, I didn't do much research and I wasn't familiar with a lot of things that Canada has to offer. I was like clueless. I just, applied, did zero research and moved here. So what I would do is to do more in-depth research. And while you're doing this research, while you're learning, watching these YouTube videos, I've done a whole playlist of videos just for you to share my journey and my experience further on in the beginning of this channel. So you will be able to learn from other person's experiences. So you will avoid some of the mistakes they have made or even myself have made if you have been watching me and following me for a while. And the next thing I would do, I would invest in mentorship, coaching, or guidance from other persons who have been here. So that mentorship and or guidance would look like one-to-one coaching if you can, or rather yet any other resources that other persons who have been through that process have to offer you, right? So for me, I have created this book, What to Expect When Moving to Canada, where I share it's like a real life guide of relocating to Canada. And I wrote this book specifically for others who are currently transitioning and moving here to Canada, because there's a lot to learn, a lot of things that I wasn't aware of, as I mentioned. So it's getting your mindset right and also preventing you from making some mistakes, which will help you to get to your success goals faster. I also have a relocation guide, which is different from this book, and that is a PDF copy. So you can, if you are not able to get this book, which is also available on Amazon as a hard copy or Amazon Kindle, then you can go ahead and get the relocation guide. Both are beneficial. This is a more personalized experience of my journey, while the guide has lots of clickable resources and all that stuff that you will need along the way. By the way, have you yet subscribed to this channel? If not, please join us, because we're a thriving community. We're learning as we're going along, building a successful life. So go ahead and hit the subscription button. And if anything that I'm saying makes any sense to you at this point, please also click the like button so others can see this video. Now, the next thing I would do is to start a side hustle that is scalable and that can be transitioned here when you relocate to Canada. Now, for example, that side hustle, that side business can be a YouTube channel where you're sharing your journey along while you're getting money, monetizing your journey, right? So you're not afraid to turn on your camera, share, tell other people the processes that you're taking, what you're going through, because persons are curious, right? They like to know what's going on in other people's business, basically. So some will be curious and some will be serious. But it's a good idea to start your YouTube channel so you can start creating a community, and then later on that business can be scalable. You can start selling PDF guides, ebook, online courses. You can write a blog. You can do affiliate marketing. So there's a wide variety of different side hustles that you can start while you are in this phase of transitioning, moving here to Canada. Now, I've done a whole playlist of different side hustles that you can do, and I will list them right here. So you can check them out after watching this video, of course. Now, lastly, I know what you have been sticking around waiting for in this video, right? And it is a decision of whether or not I would take my child with me moving to Canada in 2024. And the answer is, drum roll, yes. I would have taken my child with me, which I did in 2011, and I had no regrets. I could not survive knowing that I left her behind and I'm here in Canada. No, both of us had to go through it. Both of us had to land. She was my source of comfort and I was her source of comfort at the time, right? So I would have taken her along with me. And when I realized as I did that I needed to send her back home for a while, as I was able to find a job, find an apartment, and childcare is super expensive here in Canada. So I wasn't able to start as a survival job at the time while paying for childcare at the time. So I had to send her back. So yes, I would definitely do that again. I had no regrets moving here with her, landing here, and then sending her back for 3 months until things get sorted out, and then returning and getting her, we both settled here in Canada. So that is my advice. I'm not sure what decision you have made after watching that previous video. That's one of my trending videos that I noticed you are still watching. Persons are still watching from that video. So that's why I decided to do this part 2, basically a part 2 follow-up from that video. Now, if you have any questions or concerns or other video recommendations, leave it down in the comments and I will do a video just for you. Thank you so much for sticking around and staying to the end, and go and check out the playlist right here of getting prepared to move to Canada. And I'll also put the link for my book here down below. See you in my next video. Bye, friends.